Leadership Conversation 2026 comes at a moment where we are at the brink of an incoming technological wave. This conversation was meant to gather both members from public and private sector.
I very much commend the MIOD for coming up with this digital leadership conversation initiative. I think it connects government to the private sector. There's no doubt that in this age of uncertainty and volatility, it is very important that all brains come together, private and public sector. We work together to see how we can grow the economy, how we can grow the financial services, and how we can innovate and remain competitive and attractive in a hugely volatile and uncertain world.
First of all, I'd like to congratulate the MIOD for organizing this event. I think it brings together a lot of digital leaders and also people who are leading the private sector. And to me, this is a very good forum to have the types of conversations that we had and the type of setup that you created as well. MIOD has been a partner, I should say, of the Ministry for IT for a long time already. And we do see very interesting alignment in terms of the way, for example, they see data governance and in the way we see it, in the way they see data protection and we see it, in the way they see AI governance and we see it. And AI, as we all know, there's no question about it. AI is defining the way we consume information, we live our lives, and we run our businesses. And I really want to have alignment with MIOD in terms of how we are going to address the issue of whether to regulate AI or not to regulate. Will it be, for example, based on principles, or does it have to be legislative? So these are some conversations I'm looking forward to having with MIOD as well.
So how do we reconcile these two pillars? Simple, by factoring governance models that equal to the end goal.
So MIOD is a fantastic partner in bringing together the ecosystem, the leadership ecosystem. So that's from the get-go one of the reasons why we love working with MIOD and look forward to further collaboration. Like today was specifically important for us because what we are looking at building here at Mauritius Telecom is really an ecosystem. We keep on hearing about it, we keep on hearing about AI, we keep on hearing about transformation, about leadership, about governance. But how do you create a movement around it? How do you bring together like-minded people who can openly share about the opportunities, but also challenges, and then maybe potential solutions in terms of how we can go about with things. And that's what the platform was about today. So we love to be part of it, where we brought in speakers from all over the place, from US, from South Africa, and of course our local ecosystem here. So I think it's been a great opportunity of learning. And what I'm seeing and enjoying also is of collaboration. I see lots of startups here, lots of experienced folks. I see some synergies going on, so that's all good to see.
Axiz and MIOD, I think we are now 6th year. I think we've been working closely together. Initially, we've done quite a lot of events around sustainability, bringing innovation into country. Now, like as a leading distribution company, today, we have all the brands working closely with us. And after the conversation with Sheila, we last year decided let's do something around the digital conversation, bring the latest. So that's why hence today we decided to bring Lenovo and Nutanix to be part of this conversation with the latest offering they have around the GPU out of the box, which resonates with the strategy of many companies today going forward when adopting the AI strategy.
The partnership with MIOD on this topic started last year. when we were seeing what's happening with AI, and I had genuine concerns that the whole country was not aligned. And we wanted to have this event together with the ministers to ensure that everybody in the room understands exactly the opportunity, obviously the challenges, but also the opportunity that lies before us in terms of leveraging AI to make Mauritius a high growth economy and enabling business to be on the fast growth path with technology. And I think this was very important. And I feel that a lot of people, based on the questions we're getting from them, that they understand that when they go back to their office, they go back to their base, they will have the opportunity to talk to their team and how they can make sure that they leverage AI before it's too late, because here the essence is speed and scale.
To also invite international players where there can be exchange on that very important subject matter. One thing that has come out from this conversation, instead of having great theories and plans, vision, etc., which are good things to have, it is time to pass on to the next step, which is the execution side of things. So how do we execute things, knowing that we are having that wave of technology coming, and at the same time, we know from the corporate front, the end goal is to maximize shareholder returns.
First, I think events like this are critically important, and I think it's a place where Mauritius has an amazing advantage as a small island nation where public and private sector can work together. I think you can move a lot faster in a country like Mauritius. And when you bring people together like this in this beautiful venue where they can meet, they can network, they can discuss what's working, what's not working, I think it's a huge advantage. And I think a great example of that is, and the Honorable Minister spoke about this, is how the blueprint was created. They involved members from the private sector and committees that helped build that blueprint. And so I think it's a great example of that. And then the second thing I would say is the role that MIOD plays, you know, as a place where corporate boards can learn from each other. They can get training on issues like governance in the age of AI, which is what brought me here this week. And I think it can also act as an accelerant for the whole nation of Mauritius. So I think those two things combined bode very well for Mauritius.
We need human capital, human talent to train our people to regulate the use of AI. There are lots of opportunities from AI. There are as many challenges to regulate the proper use of AI, because in today's cyber world, algorithms may have it's both sides of the coin. So I think we have to be careful, and we have to, in fact, create this awareness of both opportunities and challenges. Challenges can only be met if we have the necessary human capital. And I also take a lot of comfort from the fact that it's a partnership, that everyone agrees with and need the participation of both public and private sector. And I think it all goes well for the future, and I think we should have more of this, because this is the world of tomorrow.
It's very impressive to see that, you know, Mauritius thinking is quite far progressed in terms of some of the other countries that I've been working with, and how the approach is one that is holistic. It takes into account not only the requirements of government, it's looking at what business needs and business to government. But I think paramount in all of this is the citizens of Mauritius and how they can benefit from it.